Big up Spurs fan near and far with your boy Deji Spurs. And I'm back. End of the season settings. And we played Brighton today and we got slapped 4-1. I just really wanted to touch base real quick. Big up to everyone that's locked in, locked on. Big up to all my family and my brothers on Never a Foul. I was just on there. Make sure you smash a like. Big up Stephen Gilchrist in the building. Hold that. I won a trophy. You don't win a trophy. I need my congratulations in the chat. I need my congratulations in the chat. Hold that. To get me. But big up to everyone that's locked in, locked on. I just really wanted to touch base about today's game, and I really wanted to talk about some home truths. For me, it's a remarkable achievement. You can see almost 200 fans out there as Spurs picked up the Europa League title. And let's not lie, that was a major achievement by my club midweek. And the celebrations that followed was well-deserved. When you're picking up a trophy after 17 years, you deserve to partay. You deserve to shake your bum violently. However, you still have a job to do. And given, I was thinking to myself earlier in the week, Aziz, big up to Aziz in the building, says I cooked Josh and Wolfie very well. They needed to get cooked, especially Josh, because he was talking a hell amount of smoke earlier this year. And the fact that Villa have not done what they needed to do, I needed to remind Josh. But today's game, after the big, massive parade that we had on Thursday, I know the players were happy, they were partying, but we still had the job to do. And the stars aligning, we had an opportunity to finish the season at home, to celebrate with the fans that didn't get a chance to go to Bilbao, to celebrate with the fans that didn't have a chance to be at the parade, to show the trophy, the Europa League trophy, and to leave us with a performance that leaves us feeling like our heart is warm and we move into the summer enthused. And I'm not going to lie to you. When Postecoglou speaks, I am moved by this brother sometimes. I'm like, okay, you know what? This brother deserves an opportunity. Some people will call me a flip-flopper, but if you win a league or you win a trophy, like a Europa League trophy, then you have to give the brother an opportunity. However, I want to call out the elephant in the room. I don't know, and there's going to be a lot of Tottenham fans that are going to be getting mad at me. I don't know if I can ignore the fact that we got slapped 4-1 today. Some Tottenham fans will say, Deji, win, lose, or draw, it didn't matter. We won the Europa League and we smashed it. No. We won the Europa League. Come back to your yard, slap up Brighton, and show the Spurs faithful that we have turned the corner. Is the Europa League dusty? Or, do you know what I'm saying? Man United being one of the dustiest teams I've ever seen in my life. Let's be real, because we just got slapped 4-1. We let this Hinsselwood score 2 goals, penalty, and then did you see the filthy 4th goal? I'm telling you now, Spurs fan, Aces, big up to you, locked in. I'm not sure. I mean, a lot of journalists have been asking Postecoglou about whether he should stay. And I think that a leopard doesn't change its spots. I think that where you finish in the league is a true reflection of who you are. Now, I'm not poo-pooing our Europa League achievements, but when I see the performance that I saw today against Brighton, it made me feel that, is the Europa League that bad? Or did he really genuinely put all these eggs in that basket and so therefore decided not to turn up today? I'm not happy, peeps. 22 defeats. I am scared. And I need people to advise me whether we should let Ange in or not. And to make matters worse, I've been telling you that Ange and his love child, Archie Gray, and I'm not cussing Archie Gray. I think Archie Gray is a generational talent. But under this manager, let's be real, Archie Gray has been exposed. There was a moment in time, a couple weeks back, Archie Gray would come on and we would lose. He came on against Forest, we got panned. He came on against Everton, we got panned. Like, always that side of the pitch, we are getting panned. I'm going to have to say the first 2 goals from Brighton today was because of Archie Gray. Now, it's not Archie Gray's fault, but when you have been playing centre-back, right-back, left centre-back, now defensive midfield, he's not had a consistent run in a position, so he lacks instinct. And because he lacks instinct, he always gets found out. Today, Archie Gray got found out twice. Now, the only brother that had an excuse for pulling out a poor performance today was Brennan Johnson, because on Thursday, we could genuinely see that Brennan was drunk. Yes, hold that. But I didn't mind it. It's good to see the Spurs players relax. It's good to see the Spurs players let down their hair. But Archie Gray, nah, I'm not going to lie. I've had enough. Sustainable Shooter is agreeing with me. Says exactly, Jed. He's had no matches in a set place. Gray was, bro, he got panned twice, bro. Archie Gray, because a lot of Tottenham fans will say Archie Gray is fantastic, he's this, he's that. He is. He's a very talented young man, but he's been mismanaged this season to the extent that we don't know his best position for Spurs, and he's just been getting found out. He's been looking rubbish. Then we've got Basuma. Basuma, every time he busts Louis Vuitton, or every time he busts some Afro beats in the changing rooms, you know what you're going to get next. A disgraceful performance. Basuma wasn't up to the races. What happened to the Basuma that we had in Bilbao? He stayed in Bilbao. That penalty that he gave was as clumsy as it has been. Today, Tottenham looked like a pub team. And that 4th goal from Brighton was one of the most disgraceful finishes I've ever seen in my life. The brother bent it in like Beckham. And Tottenham fans were celebrating. We've got Ange saying, yeah, you know, it don't really matter. You know, the way we celebrated the last couple of games, we knew we weren't going to be at the races. No, how can we not be at the races? I would have been like, you know what, boys? Last performance, we're at home because we're not away. If we were away to Brighton, I would kind of understand. We're at home. We're at home. Boys, put in one big performance, show that this weren't no fluke, and we will do our thing. Tottenham finished 17th. 22 L's this season. We finished below West Ham. We finished below United. We finished below... Nah, it's rubbish. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to call the elephant out in the room. Everyone's been asking Ange whether he's heard from Levy. He can't hear from Levy because Levy has a tough decision to make. And I'm asking this to all the Tottenham fans. Look, celebrate the trophy. Celebrate the fact that we're in the Champions League. Yes, Ange has done a great job. We didn't get 40 points. Remember, thank you, Reformed. 40 points is the measure for you to be safe in the Prem. We did not hit 40 points. I don't give a damn if from January he decided to focus on the Europa League. It still doesn't mean that we should be this dusty. So let me call the elephant out in the room. Is Ange another Ten Hag? Is he another Ten Hag? Freddie SP says, I know we lost today, but you can go on Dan Potts' channel. I want to see full energy. Yeah, bro, don't worry. When I go on Dan Potts tomorrow, I am cooking all them brothers. LB, Pete, Billy, you get me? Dan himself, they're all getting cooked by me because I'm in the Champions League and I got a trophy. And tomorrow we're going to have a special show and they can hold that. TikTok shorts as dead. Are you being harsh? They are drunk. Deji, Ange will finish rock bottom of the Champions League. And then Dr. Johnny says it was a hungover team. Who cares? Dr. Johnny, I wouldn't mind if that was the case had our season not been so poor in the league. But 22 defeats, bro, is 22 defeats that we can't ignore. All I'm asking Spurs fans is for us to come together and let's ask the serious question. Can Ange be trusted with Champions League football and a Premier League run? I know he's talking about season 3 is better than season 2. That depends on what side of the fence you're sitting on. Because it could be an epic season for the neutrals if Spurs get relegated, bruh. If Spurs get relegated, he leaves. He's not here to pick up the pieces. I don't believe that will happen. I don't think that will happen. But, bro, like, you can't tell me that this ain't going to happen again. He's got me feeling, look, TikTok Short said it was the biggest. He's got me feeling like maybe there's a legit argument. Do you get what I'm saying? Maybe there is a legit argument. Maybe, just maybe, boy, we're not about that life. I mean, for me now, moving forward, Tottenham would need to bring in 6 players. And when I'm talking about 6 players, I'm talking about a Managerial from Nottingham Forest. Maybe Eze. Do you get me? I'm talking about an Adam Walton. I'm talking about an Anderson if we're going to lose Romero. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about a Cunha. Yeah? I'm talking about an Ilanga. Yeah? I need to see ballers. People who are going to reinforce our team. Because right now, I am worried, Spurs fans. I'm calling it out. There's Tottenham fans shaking their bum, celebrating the Europa League, and rightly so. But we need to ask some serious questions of our club. That performance today was pathetic. One of my friends sent me a voice note and said it was like watching a pub team. That's the truth. It was like watching a pub team, bro. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. Deji, man, it was Minty Breath who started the Spurs collapse in the league. Spurs have lost 22,200 minutes of Premier League football. That is not acceptable. It's not, bro. That's why I'm calling it out. I see a lot of Spurs fans celebrating. Yes, let's celebrate, but we should be worried. Do you get me? Jay Greens, big up to you. Said, well done for qualifying for the VIP club. Arsenal have been it the last 3 years. So what, bro? When was the last time you won a trophy? Hold that. I won a trophy this week. Hold that, mate. Hold that. Dr. Luther, you think you got mocked before? Imagine the cooking you're going to get if you sacked the only coach that won you a big trophy this century. They sacked Ange and won nothing again. I hear that, Dr. Johnny. Do you think Spurs can win another trophy under Ange? Can I tell you now, every Spurs fan that I've spoken to, I'm talking about Adrian, I'm talking about Arthur, I'm talking about my bedroom Marlon. They all said next season, Ange has to get 5th and a trophy. We need to be challenging. And I don't see how a team in 17th with this summer, where we're not going to bring in 6 players unless I'm pleasantly surprised. And I'm talking about 6 world-class players, 6 starting players, 6 players that are going to dispossess 6 positions in our starting 11, is going to come in this summer and mount a serious title challenge via the league. And we're not expecting to win it. We're happy to finish 4th, 5th, and win another trophy. Can you see that? Because for me, I'm seeing very, very shaky signs of Eric Ten Hag. Win a trophy, but really deep down you're dusty. And now look what Amarins has to put up with. Look what he had to pick up. We're not sure Eric Ten Hag would have done anything better than this anyway. Let's be real. Jay Green says Tottenham are the first team to win a European trophy with an own goal. It's the Tottenham way. Bruv, you can say what you like about my club. Don't matter how you get it done, as long as you get it done. I think Ange needs to walk on his own. Don't leave the club to make the harsh choice. Walk away on top. Ange don't want to leave. He made it clear season 3 is better than season 2. But you know what's happening though? There is no, I want to know why he can't be pragmatic in the league. Why couldn't he just play the same way that we played against United in the Europa League final? We're at home. Even if we got a point, even if we had a battling effort at home, the Spurs fans would have been like, yeah, okay, there's a little bit of hope. To lose 4-1, I don't care. There's no excuse for that. Nah, I'm not having it. That was our biggest defeat, that's our biggest league defeat of the season. That along with the Liverpool game where we lost 6-3. Hold that. Nah, man, I'm not having it. We've lost 22 games in the Premier. It's embarrassing. We can't ignore it, even with the trophy. I think Ange should go personally. Like you said, Dej, we don't want to know. Nah, I don't want a 10-out moment. Thank you, sustainable shooter. That's the thing, bro. It's like, we're grateful. Can't we be grateful and say maybe the other thing I was thinking about sustainable is that maybe he's a cup guy. I asked you the question, yeah? Would you take 17th next season and the FA Cup? I think 17th and the FA Cup or Carabao Cup is failure. In my opinion, we've gone backwards. No Champions League football. Yeah, we've picked up another trophy. I think he could even win the Super Cup. He's the madman. But come on, bro. I can't take this. I'll always win the championship in my 4th season. Nah, you know what I'm saying? I don't want that. 5th to 17th, I think 19th next season is very likely. And I think it. Especially if Ange is in charge for the first 10 games. Imagine if Ange is in charge for the first 10 games and Spurs have only picked up 4 points, which is very possible. If we only pick up 4 points, what do we do? From that moment onwards, we are in a relegation dogfight. I don't want that. Xavi is available, and I think Spurs have to consider. Look, part of me, when he won it, I said, I love Ange. And I do love Ange because you know what? Ange delivered. Let's put some respect on his name. When it comes to, do you know what? If I could, I'd have 2 managers. I'd have Ange in the cups and Xavi in the league. Honestly, if that's what we need to do. I don't trust this brother in the Prem. I don't. Eze needs to be the first name on the list of Spurs. Probable of saving from United. Yeah, we need an Eze. Bro, we need an Eze. Could you imagine if Spurs brought in Eze, Adam Walton, Cunha? We're not going to get all these brothers, but that is the type of brothers that we need in this squad to make me believe we can finish top 8. This Tottenham team is rubbish. Let me not lie to you, it's crap. The only thing that saved Spurs this season was the fact that Manchester United, aka Manchester Piccadilly, is worse than my club. Hold that. Worse than my club. And I don't know if Jack Grealish is good enough for my club. I don't know. David after seeing all these fans celebrating a 4-1 home loss, that is so embarrassing. Bro, it's very embarrassing because you know why? Postecoglou was getting mad at my fan base for saying that we wanted to lose to City to prevent Arsenal from winning the league. Yeah? We didn't want to see Arsenal win the league. How can he then come here with chest and say it's acceptable to lose 4-1 at home to Brighton because we've won a trophy? Make that make sense. Surely we need to have the same standards for our club. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, have the same standards, bro. No. TikTok short says, but Dej, can they not celebrate? I don't know what you're getting at. No, we can celebrate, bro. But what I'm saying is, can we celebrate? Can we also say thank you very much? And can we move on? Yeah? Can we do that? Guy Thompson says, it's not your club, it's ours. Shut up. Oh, wait, it's our club, whatever. What are you trying to say? And he says, where was your ass at the stadium, you foot licker? What does that even mean? What does that even mean, Guy Thompson? Hush your mouth. Hush your mouth. So are you happy losing 22 times? Are you stupid? Are you dumb? Dummy. Dumb. That's the problem. And then when we're in the mud, you be the first person to start moaning. The first person from your dusty seat to start moaning. All I'm saying is watch out. Watch out, you donut. Look, guy, if you look, I'm sending you the link because you got a big mouth. Jump on this show. If you don't jump on this show, you're exactly what I think you are, mate. You're just a donut. Get on the show. Click the link and get on. You fool. Come and talk to me like a man. Talk to me and tell me what I'm saying is wrong. Hurry up, you donut. Do you get what I'm saying? Stupid. 22 defeats and I can't ask questions. 38 points and I can't ask questions. I can ask questions, bro. It's not unacceptable. I can ask questions because I'm concerned. Jay Greens, you already know that these guys are sitting in their underwear. Do you get me? Like flat blobbies, can't get on the stream. Shut his mouth. I sent the link now. Now all of a sudden he stopped typing. Hold that. Was I at the stadium? Were you at the stadium? Were you at the parade? Were you celebrating our club? We were all celebrating, bro. But I also have my eyes at the future. Surely we want our team, we want to see progression. Can you honestly say, hand on heart, you've seen progression this season? No, we haven't seen progression, but we saw a cup. That's it. And it's good. That's a good thing. You get what I'm saying? That's a good thing. I'm celebrating that. Thank you, Ange. But I am also saying, are we taking a risk by not calling this now? Why are we going to wait until November? Yeah? Why are we going to wait? Let's start to ask the questions now. Even if we decide to keep Ange, fine. Let's ask the right questions now. Let's see why. Because I've never seen clubs, it's happened before, but they don't capitulate like this. Even Liverpool didn't capitulate like this, and they won the league weeks ago. That's all I'm asking for, bro. Be professional until the end of the season. The Assemble says, Des, do you think the Premier League has improved? I think overall, teams have obviously improved. It's become a lot more competitive. So yes, I do. I think the likes of Newcastle, I think Newcastle's legit. I think Chelsea, I think they're back. I think Maresca now, with some money over the summer, we could be seeing Chelsea mounting a genuine title challenge. Newcastle's going to be in there, arguably one of the best teams in the league. Yeah, we know they fell off a little bit, but we've got to put some respect on their name. Arsenal's still there. City will be back next season. Liverpool are there. That's already 5. You know what I mean? Villa fell short, but with some signings this summer, they could do something. Nottingham Forest has got some money. Hopefully, we will be back. That's 8 teams. Then you've got the likes of Fulham, Bournemouth all around us. Come on. Big up, my bro. Big up to you, my bro. Spurs Talk. Sean in the building. Thank you. Sean, I'm just asking a legit question. I'm not even trying to rattle the fan base. All I'm trying to say is I want to call the elephant in the room, bro, which is I'm still worried. I'm grateful for what Spurs are doing. I'm grateful. My club got lucky today, Dej. The Geordies are back in the Champions League. Yeah, you guys are back and you've done your thing. But let's be real. On reflection, Goatfather, on your season, you deserve to be in the Champions League, like 100%. And Albert says there were about 250 yids in attendance. Boom. Yeah, bro, it was fantastic. It was majestic to see. You can see the love and the support, and rightly so. And rightly so. Do you get what I'm saying? Sean, Sean, if you've got 2 minutes, bro, I would love you to jump on, my brother. I would love you to jump on because we got big up my guy here in the building. Who's this guy? The Spurs. How are you, guy? You right?
Yeah, I was at the stadium.
Yeah. So what was wrong?
What was wrong?
Are you Guy Thompson? Yeah. Are you Guy Thompson?
Oh, am I? Yes. Yeah.
Yes. All right, Guy. So, Guy, the question I ask you, mate, is okay. Look, I get what you're saying at the stadium. It's fine. I'm saying to you, is 22 defeats this season, is it acceptable?
No. I've been consistent.
What did I say? Yeah. So what did I say that was wrong then?
Where were you? That's the problem. Where were you? Where were you? Here's the thing. Here's the problem. Here's the thing. You've become almost like a talking head.
How?
Where were you at the stadium?
I
Where were
wasn't
you
at
at
the
the
stadium.
stadium?
I wasn't at the
Oh,
stadium today.
when was the last time you were at the stadium?
The last time I was at the stadium was the Forest game. The Forest game.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Forest game when? What date? Because you got to realise.
I was at the Forest game when we lost 3-1, mate. So what's your point?
Yeah, I was at the Leicester game where we lost. And my point is, and what? See, here's the thing, Deji. Here's the thing. You have just. Here's my problem with you. My problem with you is you're just a talking head.
But can you look, guy, with the greatest respect, you're on YouTube
No, you
now.
don't need to give me
But
respect.
you need
We
to
are champions of Europe.
you need to back up your arguments with some substance. Make your point.
My point is, you're just a talking head.
Based
You
on
just
what?
go on YouTube
Based
and
on
talk
what?
people.
Based on what, though?
When was the last time you stadium? So last
I
time you
was at
stadium.
the Nottingham Forest game. Are you not listening?
Oh,
When we lost 3-1.
but
So that means I was at the game.
One game.
Okay, so what is the point you're trying to make?
Were
What is
you
the
at the
point you're trying
parade?
to make?
Were you at the parade?
Yes.
What block were you?
What do you mean, what block? I was at the parade. Are you from Tottenham? Are you from Tottenham, guy? Because I'm from Tottenham. Are you from Tottenham? No. Did you grow up in Tottenham?
That's not an argument.
Did you grow up in Tottenham?
You're just a talking head, mate.
No, you're a donut. Let me tell you why.
I'm a donut.
Primary school. Let that
Oh my
primary
God, you're
school opposite
me.
the primary school opposite the
Spurs
Spurs
fan, we're
stadium.
champions.
That was my
I
primary
just come
school.
here to talk
Tottenham
about
is
being
my area.
champions, and you're
Tottenham is my
insulting me.
area. Tottenham is my area. I grew up in
your
Tottenham. You
area.
didn't. And let me tell you something else, guy.
Come on.
Tottenham won the Europa League. I'm happy and I'm grateful for it. What I'm saying to you today is we cannot ignore the fact that we lost 22 games this season. Now, if you ain't got a point to make, then get off. Because you're saying I'm a talking head on how? Based on what? You didn't even grow up in Tottenham, mate. Look, he's muted himself. Sean, how are you, mate? This guy doesn't know what he's telling me. I'm a talking head for saying I'm calling out the fact that shouldn't we Spurs fans just be a little bit cautious here with the fact that the way that we could, like, usually when you have an opportunity, you know, Ange talked about the Europa League being a significant opportunity for us, yeah, Sean. And I'm saying, fortunately, the way the league table's gone, our last game of the season is at
unfortunately
home.
is the league table, mate.
League. Don't you want? We want to celebrate our heroes, and I wanted to see a performance today. No. Oh, sure.
Who cares?
What are we saying? We've got to be careful about it. Careful about sticking with Ange. Yeah? Is that the point?
I don't know what guy is trying to say. I don't know what he's trying to say. He's just saying I've become a talking head.
We both met at the Tottenham protest. He wasn't there.
Oh, okay, fair. My fault, gang. I didn't remember. How you doing, though?
It's all right, mate.
How are you, man?
I'm chilling. What are you saying, Dad?
The question I'm asking you and Sean, because Guy doesn't.
Ange has to go, mate. Here's why.
Yes, right? I agree.
All right, just give me a second, Carlos. Give me a second. Let me land. So I did a poll. So like there was a 15,000 person poll on Tuesday before the game, right? Which was where do you stand on Ange currently, right? And it was 85% Ange out, right? Same poll was taken on Thursday. Where do you stand on Ange currently? And it was 85% Ange in, right? So massive swing based on 90 minutes of football, which I'm like, okay, the fans don't know what they want.
Not 90 minutes of football, it's an entire tournament. It's not just 90 minutes of football, it was an entire tournament.
Hang on, bro. Let me finish my point, right? So
but if you're lying. It's not just 90 minutes of football.
I'm not, mate. I'm just saying that the stats of the polls, right? Just give me a second, bro. Give me a second. So I do a stream on my channel last night, and I do a similar thing, right? Because I did a poll, and it was initially 85% out, or 75% Ange out. Then all of a sudden, it became 92% Ange in. And then I went to the stadium today, right? And I got loads of content with people, and I was asking people, are you Ange in or are you Ange out, right? And people were like, well, it was 50-50. Some people were saying, I think he's got to go. Some people were saying, I think he's got to stay. I think he's earned it, right? And I was like, is this an emotional argument or a logical one? Are you saying this because of how you feel about where we're at? It was anyway. Long story short, what it transpired was when I pushed people, is this guy drunk or?
Yes, I was at the stadium.
Okay,
Elijah knows me, man. Let's go. Come on.
So I started pushing people. I was like, "Are you? So you're Ange in? How Ange in are you?" And they were like, "Oh, he's got to have at least the first 10 games." And I'm like, "So you're not really Ange in then? You're not really Ange in. You're not really convinced. You're not like that. This guy earns it. He's here for a year. I'm fully behind the guy. I think he's the geezer." They were like, "Nah, I just think he's deserved the crack." And I'm saying, then the polls are bullshit, right? Because it's all swings and roundabouts based on emotion. You think you've earned it, but you don't really have the faith in him. You're basically saying, I'm Ange on a trial basis. But the problem is that this summer is too fucking important, Deji. It's too important to give a geezer who most of the fans that think that they want him don't really want him. They think that he deserves it, but they're not really Ange in. They're still curious, right? It's too important to give this geezer £200 million with the new world order that's emerging in football. Aston Villa's, Newcastle's, Chelsea are back. Arsenal are going to be there. Liverpool are going to be there. Even fucking Crystal Palace, right? You don't know what's coming up, but it's too important of an opportunity to get this right for Daniel Levy to go with his heart, because he's looking around the room and he's reading the room, and everywhere he looks right now, we're singing We Love Big Ange instead again, but we're not really loving him. We're appreciating him for what he did last week. And I asked that question on my show tonight, and all of a sudden, when I put it that way, I said, if you think deep and hard here, are you really Ange in? Or if there was a better manager that came available, would you rather go down that path and give that geezer the keys to the £200 million war chest that we might have, or £150 million war chest, right? Because the stakes are so high to get this one wrong. And if those that are saying I'm Ange in, and you're inflating that 85% number, if you're really saying it's a try before I buy bullshit, sorry, you ain't Ange in. And if Daniel Levy's listening to that and reading the room, he's reading it inaccurately. It's too important. And for me, Ange has not done anywhere near enough. And I thank him very much for beating a very mediocre set of competition. But let's be honest, right? We didn't beat anybody that, if they were in the Premier League, would have been above about 12th place in the Premier League.
Yeah. So all of the waffle is he did a great job, but I want him out.
Huh? I don't know if he's done
a great job. We want him out. That's it.
Oh, all right, Guy, hold on. Elijah, you've jumped on, and big up to you, my bro. It's been a minute.
What up,
Can you just add your 2 cents into this debate tonight? But Sean, I'm with Sean on this, which is like, we got to be objective and look at the bigger picture here. We are grateful what we did in the cup, but we can't.
There's hundreds of thousands of people, Deji, that were singing the geezer's name on Friday, and I'm worried that Daniel Levy's looking at that, going, it's easier for him to keep Ange, right? Because if he does keep Ange and 10 games and it doesn't work, then Daniel Levy can turn around and go, what more do you fans want, right? I backed the guy. You asked for a front philosophy, philosophy football. He won. I gave him more time. Whereas if he changes it and he goes and hires Oliver Glasner and it doesn't work, and in 10 games in, then Daniel Levy is going to get the heat again. And I'm worried that Daniel Levy's going to read the room wrong here, because he's listening to people that are still hungover from last Wednesday.
Yeah, fair. No, I'm with you, Sean, 100%. Elijah, quickly, as I leave this comment up from Dr. Johnny, who says, grow up, stop ignoring an injury plague season, a drunken side in your first European title this century for your next manager. Safety blanket.
It's not papering over cracks.
Having rivals. Well, anyway, Elijah,
it's not papering over cracks.
I'm kind of. I see both sides. I see both sides of it, because part of me is still. I still have that emotion. Like, I'm happy that we won the Europa League, in it. Part of me still hasn't got over that. So it might be too early for me to have a proper 100% objective view in it. Like, to be fair, most fans, it's kind of like.
Even with, and I think Guy can do this as well. Sean put forward a very persuasive argument. He's saying, look, he won a trophy, and I think even if you're listening between the lines with what Sean is saying, he's saying, look, let's be honest. Like, there's nobody in that competition that blew us away. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And I'm not poo-pooing the Europa League. It's a significant trophy. It got us Champions League football. It got us a trophy in our cabinet. However, for me, the proof is in the pudding. And one of the biggest arguments in football that I agree with is that the table doesn't lie. We are the 17th best team in the country at the moment. We didn't even get 40 points. And everyone says 40 points is the cutoff mark to being safe in the Prem. In theory, we didn't capture enough points to be safe.
Yeah, but in practicality, we did. In practicality, we did. Are we relegated, Deji? Are we relegated? So it's all hearsay, theory, yada yada.
No, I'm here. I hear you, guy. But let's also be honest and say that the 3 teams below us were really poor. Correct?
Oh, they were shit. Who cares? Yeah. We're not relegated, are we, Deji? We're not relegated, are we?
So, guy, can I ask a question then to move this?
Go for it. Ask away, mate.
So, based on what you've seen so far with Ange, based on the trophy and the significant impact that it's having on our club, which is why you felt...
Get to the point, please.
What do you think is going to happen next season?
Next season, we have a break. There's signings. I don't know what's happening next season. I don't know. Does anyone here know what's going to happen next season? Raise your arm.
Look.
Raise your arm what's going to happen next season.
I'm asking you, for the sake of debate, based on what you've seen, based on what you know of Ange, based on what you would...
On 2 seasons and a trophy.
Based on what you think he might do, what are you expecting? Or what would you deem to be a good season for Spurs next season? How about that? What would be a good season for Spurs?
I'll tell you what, Super Cup would be nice. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Super Cup.
Yeah.
And then we go into the Champions League, and also at least get into the final so we can experience what we experienced this season. Why not? Why can't we do that?
Okay. So where do you think we would be in the Prem next season? Or where do you hope we would be?
Well, when was the last time we won the Premier League? What, in the 60s, I remember? Not even I remember, but you know. The Premier League. I didn't say that.
I don't know. I didn't say you said that. I'm just asking.
Yeah. No, I would like us, as long as we're not relegated. That's all I care about. Because you've got to realise, we either win it or we don't. We win it or we don't. Do you think we're going to win the Premier League next season? No, we're not.
So you're happy to finish 17th?
Are we not happy to finish 17th with a trophy this season and get Champions League? Imagine that. We finished 17th with a Champions League trophy.
Depending on how you answer the question, it depends on whether it will continue. I would argue that for this season, it's acceptable. But I don't think 17th and a Carabao Cup would be acceptable next season.
I didn't say Carabao Cup, did I?
I'm
You're not going to win the Europa League again. We're not in the Europa League next year. So you ain't going to win the Champions League, are you?
Who's we?
Do you think Spurs can win the Champions League and be 17th? Or at least around that kind of area, not necessarily 17th, but let's say mid to bottom half of the table and then win the Champions League. Do you think we'll be able to do that next season?
We've kind of done it this season. Why is that not possible?
I mean, Europa League is not as good as the Champions League.
Here's the thing. I love this. Look, the standards of teams. Oh my God, we had the standards of teams last season. Why not? Why is it not possible?
We didn't have any standing teams last season. We didn't play in Europe.
It's just a much harder competition, factually. I mean, look at the teams in the Champions League. It's just.
I was there in 2019. I was there at that final against Liverpool. We lost. Why not? Here's the thing. Why? It's a really strange thing. I'm not saying we can win the Premier League. I'm saying, why not more trophies? We've got a Super Cup coming up. Super Cup. Is anyone confident that we'll win it at either PSG or Inter?
Possible. It's
Maybe.
possible. I actually think Ange could do it.
I think if we had PSG, we could beat PSG. I don't know about Inter.
Yeah, I think we could beat PSG. Inter are very difficult transitions because we can't just park the bus. I'm here being optimistic. Everyone's coming on me like, why not? Why can't we? Why can't Tottenham? No, Sean, you're laughing. You're laughing. I'm saying, why can't Tottenham go to another final in Champions League? Laugh away, mate.
We haven't got the squad or the manager that's capable of taking
the squad. You realise there's a transfer window between that, right?
Yeah, I do realise that.
Yeah.
I just don't know how Levy would invest in the squad to make it good enough to compete for the Champions League. I mean, we've never seen.
Sean's laughing. No. Sean's laughing. You're saying we can't do it. Why can't we do it?
No, I'm not laughing at the question. I'm laughing at the way you're reacting. That's all. I think it's hilarious.
My reaction is, why can't we do it? It's just a question.
The only thing I would say, and I'm hearing you. I said it earlier on the show before you popped in, and I said for Spurs to compete the way that Ange has suggested, we would need to see 6 or 7 signings that would start in our starting 11. And I don't know if Elijah agrees with that and Sean, but I'm looking at our starting 11. We need to replace both wingers. I think there's an argument about maybe competition for Solanke that's already free. I think Maddison has been all right, but I do think maybe
our players are 6. Our players are 5 or 6 out of 10. That's it. Our players aren't great.
Right.
So you think we can buy enough players in the summer to be able to get ourselves to a Champions League final?
I didn't say that.
That was what you suggested.
No, that's not what I suggested. Listen to my words, and I will say it. I will say it again. I will say it again. There is no reason why Tottenham can't compete in the Champions League. That's what I said.
That's exactly what I just said that you said.
I'm so confused right now. I'm so confused.
We would need to see major signings, is what I'm saying. I would need to see 6 signings. I would want to see another. I would need to see cover for Van der Ven. Also, I think we also need cover for Udogie as well. We also need a proper 6. Do you know what I mean? Like for me, like minimum 6 players, and then they're gonna need to gel before the season starts, and
selling players too.
Like that is what we're faced with. And then the issue is, if we don't bring in those signings and you only bring in one, let's say we bring in an Eze on these ones is not going to transform Spurs this season. Eze on these ones is not going to help us to compete for Champions League football. And I'm just worried. And I think Guy and Elijah, you would no doubt agree. What Sean is saying is, we don't want to wait till November to be like, oh, damn. We knew this was going to happen. And now we're in a relegation dogfight.
100%. Well, no, listen, for what it's worth, I actually agree with the guy. There's no relegation happening, right? There's only three teams that come up. They all go down again. There's no relegation fear or risk. But that shouldn't be the parachute. But that shouldn't be the baseline of our expectation. Don't get relegated. We should be competing in the league because we're not going to win the Champions League. No chance. And so the only way because I just told you, man, you just agree with me that we're not going to be able to compete. We're not going to go and buy 7 players in the summer that are going to compete.
I didn't say we're not going to buy 7 players. You're putting words in my mouth.
No, I suggested it, and you went. I'm not saying that we did say it, but you did say that.
No, I didn't.
Fuck, what are we doing?
But you did say this, Guy. You did say you would be happy with 17th and a trophy.
Why not? League position, we cannot expect much from the team that we have, apart from, look at our heritage. We win cups. We're a great cup team. We're an amazing cup team. Well, recently. You know, I've seen it since 91. I've seen it in 91, 99, 2008, and now I've seen it in 2025. Premier League is a different beast from getting cups because cups are a knockout competition.
Yeah. So the question that I would then ask, and big up to everyone that's locked in, locked on, make sure you smash a like. We are just unpicking and calling out the elephant in the room. My thing is, do we just want to be a cup? Like I asked this question, and I threw this question to the Arsenal fans, and I said this: do you want to win 10 Carabao Cups in a row, or would you have one Premier League in that?
10 Carabao Cups. Sorry.
See,
Trophies.
I would rather
Trophies, mate. Trophies are trophies. Trophies are trophies.
Sean, Elijah, 10 Carabao Cups in a row or one Premier League title in the next 10 years?
Low-key, out of instinct, I would say 10 Carabao Cups, but depending on what your reason is for the Prem, I'm willing to change my answer. I don't really know. The Prem just means more, though. The Prem just means way more. You know what I'm saying?
The league is the best barometer of where you are, right? For me, this season was fucking horrendous, bar all but the last 6 weeks.
I wouldn't want 10 Carabao Cups to finish 17
yeah,
or 10 seasons. It depends on where we finish.
Yeah, but if you go through, like, when we used to finish second, third, fourth, right, under Poch and Redknapp and all that stuff, like, you'd walk away from 75% of your 9-month season as a happy guy because you'd just seen your team win or not lose or whatever, right? Whereas this season, we've walked away 62%.
No, I saw Leicester bust. I went to the stadium. I went and got a half-time drink, and then I came back to my seat, and they scored 2. The amount of abuse.
What's that got to do with what I'm talking about?
No. We're talking about seasons. We're talking about seasons. Yeah, you're saying I'm a season ticket holder. I went to that Leicester home game. I went to the halftime bar. I came back and I just went, oh shit, they scored 2. And I've got Jamie fucking Vardy giving it the big un with his Premiership badge. Yeah, it fucking hurts. What
is that? What is that?
Just because of that, I changed my mind, bro. I'll take the Prem. Change my mind. Change my mind, bro. I'll take the Prem instead, fam. You know what I'm saying? I'm Gucci, bro. I'm Gucci.
You know what, bro? You sold me too, man. You sold me too. That's a fucking story, but that anecdote makes so much sense, man. I am locked in. I'm locked in, bro.
Can I ask another cheeky question then? Can I ask another cheeky question as we're debating as panelists? I thought about this today and I was like, and again, everyone, let me just qualify. I shouldn't have to do this. I love our club. I love the achievement. I was happy. I am happy. I'm shaking my bum. I'm going to be shameless. I'm going to be cooking all these Arsenal, Man United, Man City, all these fans in the next couple of weeks. Don't you worry. Is Ange a better manager than Poch?
No.
Not if he's been more successful.
No.
Is he a better manager?
No.
He's the worst manager we've ever had, mate.
No chance. He's the worst Premier League manager. Worst Premier League manager.
No, he's not better.
Speaking, he's the worst Premier League manager.
So we can all agree, because I'm hearing people saying he's better than Poch. He's already done what other managers.
Yeah, people will conflate success and being better. But nah.
Elijah, what you
saying? Thank you, Elijah.
They love to conflate more successful. Like in the moment, they'll say he's better, but they conflate the two, and they're like, he's our most successful.
2 ticks.
Like let's be real in it. Poch is miles clear of Ange and every other category you define managers also, except for the trophy.
What really pisses me off though about Ange is like he spent 2 years telling us it's who we are, mate. Right? We're gonna die on that hill.
And then we changed it.
and then it wasn't who we were when it came to the crunch, right? Suddenly shit went out the window and we fucking parked the bus for 3 games in the second leg.
Desperation does a lot to you, man. I can't lie. Desperation does a lot.
No, I hear that. But like why do we have to put up with the first 2 years of the bullshit? Because don't forget, right, when he came out on that fucking stage on Friday and said, I told them, they didn't listen. Yeah, you know what, bro? I listened when you told me that we were going to have a second season title charge. Are we going to play that clip back? I listened when you said that in season 1, you said a top 10 finish in a trophy is not a good season. Now I'm hearing you fucking rewrite history to say that finishing 17th was all part of the fucking master plan, bro.
Yeah.
Like he told me, he told me in season 1 the reason why we struggled
Brother,
was because we
another
played
beer
too
out.
few games. In season 2, it's because we played too many. He told me that Jed Spence's resurgence was all part of his plan as well. Right? He told me so many fucking things.
Yeah,
But
that was crazy.
When you say everything, then something you said is going to end up being right. And then if you try and convince everybody to forget all the other shit you said, and then you come out with, I told them and they didn't listen.
So Ange is a shit
I
flicker.
heard everything you said, bro. You're a bullshit artist. You're a salesman, and you are not good enough at the Premier League level. And you will come
No,
up
he's
with
not.
whatever excuse. You'll twist it into an explanation to justify your prior mistakes. He said, the reason why injuries are not my fault is because we don't train anymore. And everyone's like, oh, that's cool. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. If we don't train anymore, then what was that whole thing where we pivoted to a back three against Everton away? And we shelved it after 45 minutes as a failed experiment. If you don't train anymore, then how the fuck are we playing that against Everton when for the last 18 months, it's been all about a back four and it's a who we are, mate thing. Like the guy just says whatever he has to say to dance himself through a difficult situation. And too many Tottenham fans gobble that shit up because he can put
It's called keeping a job. It's called keeping a job. It's called keeping a job.
That's the one
It's
thing I
called
have to
keeping
say.
a job. He's going to chat so much shit to keep his job.
That's the one thing I have to give Ange credit for. He will say whatever to keep his job. All of a sudden, it was like, it's going to be it will be a significant season if we win that trophy. That word, and the players were all using it. Significant. I was like, bruv, significant season, mate. We're getting killed in the league, bruv. There's nothing significant about this. You just won a trophy. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. At the end of the day, I don't give a damn what happens with Ange. If Ange somehow turned it round, I'm happy to bite the bullet and say, you know what? He's done an Arteta here where, you know, where Arsenal finished 8th and Arsenal fans...
No, Lego head. Lego head. Don't say his real name. Lego head.
Okay, Lego head. Do you think, Guy, Elijah, I think I already know Sean's answer to this, that maybe there's a possibility he could do a Lego head and Spurs could be second next season? Because that's basically what he's implying. He's implying that we're going to be involved.
At the end of the day, Elijah, Sean, Deji, if he brings more cups, right, more silverware to the table, because let's face it, we've been trolled for 17 years of my life, right, without silverware, and we've got silverware, and we're riding the crest of that silverware. If he brings more silverware, which I doubt he will, you got to realise I'm consistent. I've been Ange out since last season. I think our manager should change, but if this club brings more silverware to the table, will we shut up? Will we shut up? If he gets the Super Cup, let's just say he gets the Super Cup.
I don't want him to be here for that, but fair enough. If he gets the Super Cup,
I'm saying, I don't want him. I don't want him here for that either, Sean. Like I say, I've been consistent. Every Arsenal fan has just been like, "You don't want your manager." Yeah, I don't want him. He's crap. He's crap. And like Sean has said, that final was not Ange ball. It was not. But if he gets more silverware, here's the thing: if he gets more silverware, what are we going to do?
Yeah, but the silverware happens at the end of the season. Before you get to the silverware bit, you've got to tolerate the whole preamble to it. And I can't like go through another season like this on the if and path of another trophy.
I can't. Same. Thank you, Sean. I agree with you, mate. Like I say, I'm saying I wanted Ange to say on that stadium, I got it. I got it my second season. I'm done. Thank you, Spurs fans. It's another day. I would love that. But he's not going to do that because how much money is he getting sitting in that job? We are contemplating about people who are getting paid literal £1,000 a week It's above my pay grade.
He earns a lot more than £1,000 a week, bro.
Can we?
I know. It's a joke.
He earns about 15 grand a day.
I know. It's a joke. It's a joke, Sean.
Sean, Guy, Elijah, should we be bigging up Levy for this trophy as well? I'm one of the ones when I've seen people. No, because people are quick to not Levy.
No, we should not.
No, but hear me out. People are quick to not Levy when things don't go right. But let's be real.
Levy's my chairman.
Levy, we have to give Levy credit for this.
He held on. He held on despite how dusty everything was looking.
Hey, Daniel Levy, bro. I love that boy. I spent 3 years taking bullets and strays left and fucking right in this community because everyone in this space, everyone in YouTube is like, they spend more time thinking about Tottenham than anything else. And so they naturally lean towards the negative because it's been so shit for Tottenham fans for so long. But I'm the one geezer who put up and stood up for Daniel Levy the whole way through.
Are you booking a ticket in a new hotel?
Like, my chairman. My fucking
you've been Levy in and that. Bears. You've been a Levy in thing, Sean. I hear it though.
Love that, man.
I think we got to give Levy some props here.
Yeah, we have to give Levy.
Literally held on to the last moment. Imagine if we had lost Thursday. Levy is like dead man walking.
No, he wouldn't give a shit. He wouldn't care because he's building new hotels and making money from other prospects. What are we doing here?
We need to still make money from football, though. Like let's. I don't really Levy that much neither, but we have to be honest here. Like Levy's gonna care because you have to make a certain amount of money through football, innit? Like it's not. He's not only gonna make money for our other aspects. Like he still has to make a bunch of money through football. And look, you have to give Levy credit because January times that was like the peak for Ange, innit? January to like February, once we got knocked out of the Carabao and then the FA Cup, that was like the peak of Ange, innit? And he basically said, "Fuck that, we're keeping him," innit? And there was revolts online. There was revolts online. Like Sean, I don't know if you do YouTube, innit, Sean? I'm assuming, right?
Yeah,
I'm assuming you YouTube, innit? Yeah. So there was revolts online. Like I would say, like basically the entirety of the Tottenham community, for what I can see, bro, was like, why the fuck is he here, bro? Well, why has he not been sacked?
I went to the for what it's worth. Even though like I'm known as being, I think someone said it in the chat there, Sean Butler Levy lover or whatever. I get called like a ball licker. I get called all this shit. I get called all these like horrible names. For what it's worth, bro. More for documentation purposes than anything else. But I'm like one of only 50 people that have been to all 3 or 4 Change for Tottenham protests, and it was funny because it was the
same here. I was there. I was there too.
The before the Liverpool second semi-final in the Carabao Cup, there was like 3,000 people. That was what its peak, right? There was 3,000 people, and all of the Change for Tottenham, which was just a rebranding of Levy out. They were all on their various channels going like, "This is it now." And I was hearing these people going, "You know what? What's really worrying, right, is if we win the Carabao Cup, then Levy out is sort of dead. So we should probably root for like failure in the cup." And and then someone else was like, "Yeah, better yet, maybe we should be rooting for relegation because if we get relegated, then Levy's cooked." And I'm like, you guys have lost your mind. The whole reason why you hate Daniel Levy is because we don't win enough trophies. But now we're on the verge of winning a trophy in the Carabao Cup, and you're rooting for our failure because it means more for your movement. Your movement only exists because we don't win trophies. But if
that's absolute bollocks, that's absolute bollocks, absolute bollocks, absolute bollocks, absolute bollocks. Because I was there, Elijah was there. I have been to the protest. That's not what real Tottenham fans. Those are the fucking idiots that you listen to. No, the real Tottenham fans want us to succeed. Want us to succeed.
I know. I'm just saying.
No. Absolute bollocks. Absolute bollocks. Absolute bollocks. Because real Tottenham fans don't want our clubs to fold. Don't want us in relegation. Why don't we? No, Sean. Why don't we lose a cup just to get Ange out? No one's talking about that, bruv. We want our club
there are
to
channels that
succeed.
work. There are channels that work. I know they don't represent.
They are not Tottenham fans, then, are they?
I hear you. I'm just reminiscing.
They're not.
I hear you, bro. I'm with you. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you what was going on in certain channels that are structured that way.
Channels. I don't give a fuck about what was online. I go to the games. You go to the games, right? We listen to our Tottenham fans, right? We have a problem with our ownership. There are cracks the size of canyons. There are people that are showing their voices, right? And they don't want our club to rescind into relegation zone, into the Championship, or the EFL, right?
Yeah.
They don't want that. No.
I know, but there are people that are the loudest voices in the Levy Out movement who care more about being right than they do what is right. And when it comes to things like what happened last week, they're now terrified that the Levy Out movement is dead.
Why is it? No, the Levy Out movement is not dead because we want our ownership changed.
Bro, you're not even listening to what I'm saying, bro. I'm just
Go
saying
on.
that there are people that don't feel the same way as you do in the minutia, but in the macro, these people are Levy outers and they care so much
The
about
minutia and the macro. Okay, go on. Go on.
They care
Go on.
more. Okay, I will. Okay, I will, bro. I will. Just give me a chance.
Yeah, go on.
They care more about their movement, and so they're now worried that the change for Tottenham thing. Because you know what, bro? If they had a change for Tottenham
They're
protest,
not fans,
bro,
then, are they?
well, they think they are.
Look, the truth
Because
of the
if you
matter
don't want Tottenham to, all that waffle is, if you don't want Tottenham to succeed, if you are vying for us to fail as a club, as a competition, our boys on the pitch, then you're not a fan, are you?
well,
So
the
why are
thing
you
I would
listening
say,
to it?
Guy, the thing I would say, and before we wrap up in the next couple of minutes, the only thing I would say is this: all we've ever wanted is for our club to be competitive and to be one of the big boys.
Why have you
Now,
stopped saying
We
club?
are. Yeah,
What's that?
why are you doing that?
No.
You ain't even northern.
Deji,
Well, he just says it like that.
why have you stopped saying the word club? Why are you saying club normally? I liked it when it was club. I liked
Yeah,
it when
my
it was
club. I still say my club. Do you know what I mean? I still
Ain't
say
yours.
my
It's
club.
our club. It's
I
our
got
club.
my club t-shirt on here. My club.
Hey, you do
That's
not do it without
cringe as
trying, man.
fuck.
Love that.
That's cringe
You
as
got the
fuck.
merch. You got the
It's
merch
our
going.
I got
club.
the merch now. My club.
I want to buy one of those
That's our
t-shirts.
club.
I like
I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want that.
You don't need to buy one, mate. Just calm yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Look, the situation is if Levy, arguably off the field, we are probably the biggest team in the country. Stadium, fantastic. All the other plans, fantastic. Revenue, fantastic. He's now brought in a manager that's won us a trophy. Again, I'm not saying whether I'm in or out, but if he's getting the job done, surely you gotta let him do what he's doing. That's all I'm saying. Surely it makes sense, no?
I've never been one to be like, I'm not too hyper focused on like the owners and stuff like that. So like, even though I'm not the biggest Levy fan, it's like I don't know about the ins and outs and stuff. So when people do know who know the ins and outs talk about it, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna step back and let them do their thing in it. But hey, you made the right call here. Like Levy made the right call keeping Ange in hindsight, innit? And he did his job. He did it well. And obviously, when it comes to the finances and the business side, like what's understood ain't got to be explained in it. He's definitely the best in the country, one of the best in the world at it. So yeah, on that side, there isn't really much to talk about. It's just been the football side. You know, the whole banner at the front is always one trophy in 25 years. Well, that was 2 trophies. Yeah. You know, so in terms of Levy, he's done his job this season. We've gotten a trophy. It's just really how things end up going from now. Like, it doesn't make sense now for Levy to sack Ange because he backed him for so long and he's been proven right. So what's the point of going through all of that just to sack Ange now? It don't make sense. So it's going to be interesting to see in the summer how he backs him.
Go.
And
he has to go.
Ask Manchester United about Ten Hag. Ask Manchester United about Ten Hag. He won an FA Cup.
Hey, I'm just saying, in the perspective of Levy, he's done all of this. He's taken all the abuse. He's gone through all these protests and all this stuff like that, and he's decided to stick with the manager. Well, I'm saying, come on, come on, bro. Don't take it so literally, and it pause. But like,
no, I'm saying, like, he hasn't taken abuse. He's in his $1 million mansion, bro.
Come on, you know, I'm just not even gonna.
I get it. Go on.
But like, he's gone through all that to keep Ange here. And Ange has prevailed and proven him right, essentially. So why would he sack him at that point? It's just a question of if Ange walks and he's
he sacked Jose Mourinho before a cup final.
But he kept He kept Ange for the cup final. He won it. So Ange is gonna be here next season because Levy's not gonna sack him, and Ange is not gonna walk.
I guess the question is that Levy will have to balance this summer, and I'm putting myself in Levy's shoes. On the one hand, Ange has proved himself.
Well, you've got the hair for it.
Yeah. The question is, do you believe Ange to deliver next season? And that is the bottom line.
Yeah, and the answer
do you
is no.
trust him again with this squad?
No.
Yeah.
No. Of course he can't.
So, Guy, I'm just after all this. In the end, let me not go there because Guy started this show with Dej, you're just a talking head, which I didn't understand where he was coming from. But in the end, we have the same opinion about Ange.
Do we?
Well, you just said he had to go.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Just put it out there. We have the same opinion. It's crazy, isn't it?
Man had more Budweisers than disagreements, bro. What's going on, fam?
The link I came on. It's nice to talk, y'all.
Nah, this is insane, bro.
Big up, guys. Big up, guys. So look, final one just before we wrap up. Sean, what would need if Ange does say, what would you need to see, Elijah? What would you need to see in terms of maybe where we finish to say, you know what, maybe Ange is the right person. We're not expecting him to do a complete 360, but let's say you can see that it's a difficult decision for Levy to make. He's more likely than not, he's not spoken to Ange, so you know he's fighting his head. What would you need to see for you to say, you know what, I changed my opinion? Let him
next season.
Yeah.
Next season, I'm like the only way to see this because I don't think that you could just expect another trophy. Right? No team wins trophies every year, so if we get one, great. But for me, the league has to be much more competitive. And when I'm saying much, I'm not just saying an improvement. Like 15th is not better than. And he says season 3 is better than season 2. If what he means by that is we'll finish at least 16th, like nah. If you want me to be on board you, then I need to see the first 10 games. I need to see 6 wins or whatever. I need to see us in a top 4, top 5, whatever, conversation. So if we're somewhere 6th, 7th, whatever, that's acceptable. It's an okay progression, and also a non-embarrassing season in the Champions League and a decent cup run. But I just need to see us fight on multiple fronts because this idea that we can't do that, bollocks, bro. You built this squad. We've had 16 new players in the time you've been here. This is your squad. It's your. How do you say? When you say club to club, how do you say squad to squad? 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 Is that what it is? This is your squad.
Your players, fam. Just take your players.
This is your squad. And I think that he's got to get right back up there to be in the shout. In and amongst Newcastle, Villa. That's the level of our squad. That's the level, right? So get back in there. And if you're not doing that by, this is on the proviso that he stays. If he's not doing that by if we're 15th in September or some shit like that, you've got to go. But I don't want to see that happen because I just don't. The season's done then, and because we're not gonna win the Champions League. So for me, I don't want it to get that far, and I don't trust him to spend the money correctly either. I think he has a weird relationship with quality. I think I'm just not on board it. So for me, I'd like to say thank you very much for the memories. You ended up being a winner. Congratulations, but let's move on.
Cool. Brilliant, Sean. Thank you. Elijah?
I can't lie. I want another trophy, bro. I'll take a European spot and a Carabao in it. So even if it's a Europa League / Conference League kind of squad, because I don't think we're doing that in the Champions League. I don't think we're nowhere near Champions League level to be competing, none of that in it. And now that it's a league table format, it's not the group stage kind of thing where you're in a group of 4 different teams and the top 2 progress and the third get bumped out. It's not that anymore. It's a whole ass thing. So I think the quality is really gonna show. The lack of quality is gonna show. So I don't think Champions League will get out that big group. So a Carabao Cup and a European spot, whether it's Conference League or Europa League, that's really something I need to see. But I need to see some trophy. I need to see some sort of progression in the league, in it. Because again, going. Sorry. I was gonna say going from 17th 12th, as Sean was saying. I mean, sure, it's an improvement, but like, how much of an improvement really is it? Like going from 38 points to like 50 points, like that's not the craziest.
I'm
improvement
talking.
in the
I want
world.
to see. I want to see 70 points, give or take.
Yeah,
I hear that. I don't think Ange is going to get that in that season. I'll be so real, and I don't think so.
But someone else can. Someone else can.
Someone else can, 100%.
Oliver Glasner can, right?
Yeah, but I'm just going on the premise that
this squad is the top 7. Is top 7.
Say it properly, Deji. What is it?
This squad that we have, this squad is about top 7. Surely, if Nottingham Forest,
I'd have an 8th in my opinion.
You think Nottingham Forest have a better squad than Spurs?
Nah. Okay, let me go. So obviously, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Newcastle, Aston Villa.
They're called Woolwich.
Huh?
They're called Woolwich.
Woolwich.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Arsenal. Okay. So what I didn't say
Woolwich.
And then I'm forgetting one team in it. I forget one
Villa.
team.
Have you said Villa, Newcastle, Chelsea?
I've said Villa,
City.
Villa, Newcastle, Chelsea, City, Liverpool, Arsenal, and then there's another team that I've forgotten.
But there's Nottingham Forest.
Nah, it's not Nottingham Forest. It's someone else. But it's we're around 7th or 8th in it. I'll give you that. If it's 7th, then it's fine. But we're around 7th or 8th. Best squad in it. But so 70 points should be something that we attain to in it. But I just don't think that obviously with the different manager, sure. With Ange though, even getting a few players in, going from 38 points to 70 is a bit mad, in it. So obviously Nottingham Forest just did it, like going from 17th to like I guess 7th because they bottled it. But
that's
even so, again,
a lot of points. 65.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And the quality of the league was at an all-time low. It's the worst that we've seen in a while. So assuming that the teams will get back up to scratch next season, it will be more difficult. Asking for 70 points is, especially with Ange, is something a bit crazy. If we get someone else that's a better manager, then we're talking about something different. So that's why for me, like if we get like 7th, 8th, and we get like a Carabao or something, I'm good at that as progression, innit? It's progression. Obviously, the next year we'd have to aim higher, so we'd have to aim for a top 4 spot, and then it will go on. But yeah, just finishing 7th or 8th and not winning a trophy, in my opinion, it's progression in the league, sure. But if you're not winning a trophy and you're getting dumped out the cups quick, then you should really be aiming for higher than 8th or higher than 7th. You get what I'm saying?
Fair, Elijah. I like that. But it's so mad to see how our expectations have tapered out a bit. To be saying that's,
not
8.
from me.
I mean, for me, it was like top 6 or top 4. Now we're talking top 8. Do you know what I mean? And that shows how poor we've been in the league. If we're saying top, mate, 8th. Let's say if our season weren't so bad, we would have been cussing even with 8th. We should have been cussing even in 5th. So that just shows. Guy, last but not least, for you next season, I know what would you, for Ange to keep his job, would you want to see? And a league position, please.
Okay, right. So in this hypothetical bubble that we exist in, which I don't care about, and a lot of waffle have been said, I would like us to domestically get a damn cup. I would also in Europe get another cup. Trophies are the measure of success, boys. I don't give a fuck about our league position. We either win the Premier League or we don't. We either win the Worthington, Carlington, Carabao, which is called the League Cup, by the way, or an FA Cup. Domestic success and European success. That's it. In a sentence. Done.
On that note, I'm also done. Deji, I love you to pieces, bud, but I got to jump. I've got to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So, love you guys. Nice to meet you, Elijah. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you, man.
See you soon, boys. Take care. Ciao, everyone.
Thank you for jumping in.
Smash the like and subscribe to this.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
See you
you,
soon, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Facts.
I guess for me, I still see our club as a big 6. So for me, I would like to be.
Man United aren't.
Yeah,
that team are dead. They're not a big 6. We are big 6. You know why? We bring trophies. 2025, 2025.
Imagine saying this last year, you know, this has been insane last year,
I
bro.
don't care.
Well, I say this. I would like to see Spurs in the Champions League spot via the league and a trophy. That might be unrealistic. That might be a bit too ambitious.
Not unrealistic. Keep the faith.
If Spurs finish fourth and the Carabao Cup, I would say that's a good season.
Stop the missing cups. Let's go.
I just don't think we're getting that with Ange, though. I don't think so. We'd have to
we're not getting with Ange.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know if we're getting with Ange, so we'll see. But look, Guy, it was a pleasure to meet you. Thanks for accepting the invitation. Celebrate that trophy, yes.
As you all should. It's not just our trophy. It's everyone's trophy. 17 years. 17 years. I was there in Wembley. We saw it raised.
He ain't left the stadium since the final, bro. I swear.
Bro. Look, mate, celebrate it. I say let's celebrate, but we all agree on this show. And this is how mad it is, Elijah. Even Guy, who I thought was Ange in, is Ange out.
Is Ange out.
Saying, wow, I'm not sure I'll keep this guy either. So that was the point I was trying to make with the elephant in the room, which is celebrate Spurs fans, but we still got work to do. And can I just big up Nick for the super chat? Nick here, thank you very much. It says getting off the stream to go and read a book. He said he had to look up the undisputed domination.
Also,
I've got some domination.
Shout out to Uncle Eugene, Uncle Eugene, Uncle Eugene, Uncle Eugene, Spurs Asian TV, Uncle Eugene.
Oh, is it the merch? Nice.
Domination in the location. I'll be sporting that tomorrow on the shows. Guy, it was a pleasure to meet you. Elijah, thank you. Big up to everyone that's locked in, locked on. Please smash the like, interesting debate, leave comments. Big up Lee, and unfortunately for your club today, so sorry about that, my guy.
Armpits. We lifted a trophy. Armpits.
You can't even see the armpit, bro. The green screen.
The green screen's covering it. But big up everyone. Thank you, and we are out.